Hello, all my amazing, beautiful, dope ass souls. It's your girl, Tina Marie J. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome. I know I have not made a video in a very long time. I don't know, it's probably been a month by now since I've made a video on this channel, or at least close to a month. Life is definitely, well, I can't say life has been catching up to me. I've been more so trying to catch up to life at this point. But I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everything is going good. So I feel like this video will resonate a lot with people who have left religion, who've left Christianity, and who are going through something or who have gone through something. And I don't just mean like something small that you can get over so quickly. I'm talking about going through something that's like really takes a lot of time to heal from and takes a lot of just loving yourself in order to get through. So I feel like this would definitely resonate with you. So if you know my story, you know that I left Christianity a couple years back, and I think I'm like losing count. How long has it been? Maybe like 5 years, six, going on six maybe by now, since I've left Christianity. And I have learned a hell of a lot. Like throughout this journey, I've learned a ton. And some of my most hardest lessons came in 2021. And 2021, a lot of us have had to go through a lot of losses. We've had to go through a lot of grief and a lot of sicknesses and healing, and a lot of people just went through a lot. Businesses, financial crisis, all of those things. And so that was, I feel like 2020 and 2021 was definitely big for a lot of people. And I know I've mentioned this before. I don't want to like seem like a downer every time I come on the mic, but I'm only speaking my truth, and this is from my heart, and I just feel like other people could resonate. I'm not going to come on and give you guys fake content if that's not the life I'm living. So it was hard for a lot of people, right? And so I don't know, sometimes like I kind of just think about like the people who are not a part of religion, people who don't believe in what they used to believe in anymore. How are they handling it? And I have had people ask me before, like, how do you handle hard things when like life gets really hard and you go through something tough? How do you handle that now that you're not a Christian anymore? Like, who do you pray to? Who do you expect to have your back? All those things. I used to wonder the same thing. Like when I was still a Christian, I used to wonder, people who aren't Christian, like how do they handle really hard things in life? What do they, like what do they do? Like who are they praying to? Who's gonna help them? Who are they gonna beg to help like reverse this situation? So I used to always wonder that. And I think that was probably one of the things, like the biggest things that I feared while leaving Christianity, transitioning out of it, because it's a slow transition. You don't leave overnight. It actually takes time, because then, your mental has to change, and how you see and perceive things has to change. So that takes time. But I used to be afraid of that while I was transitioning out of Christianity, because my whole thing was like, when the hard times really hit me, who's gonna have my back? Who am I gonna pray to? So the hard times definitely have hit me. So for those of you who don't know, my mom has been sick. She was diagnosed with cancer this past summer, May. She got really sick in May and was like officially diagnosed in June after getting multiple opinions. She was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and so she was doing well. She was, in the beginning, she was responding to the chemo. And then she had like, I think 6 rounds of chemo in total, and it took such a toll on her body. She started losing more weight. Then she had to have a full hysterectomy because she has uterine cancer. So she had to have a full hysterectomy done. After her hysterectomy, things started to go downhill. The cancer was dying out, but then more was continuing to grow, and it was attaching to her kidneys and the lining of her stomach, which made it difficult for her to be able to to like eat and stuff. And I'm sorry, probably should have put a trigger warning that this is gonna probably be triggering or depressing for anybody. I don't know, but this is just what I'm going through, and this is just something that I feel like sharing right now. But I understand if you can't listen and you need to fast forward. So yeah, so my mom, it's been really hard for her because like it's hard enough for her to be able to have an appetite to eat enough while she's in chemo, doing chemo, but then let alone like now she also has to deal with like not being able to eat because it's like attached to the lining of her stomach, and so it's been affecting how she eats. Like that was actually the sign that she got, was when she first got sick. She couldn't eat and she was losing weight. Like I was like, Ma, you lost some weight. Like I went and saw her for the weekend, and the following weekend was when she ended up going to the ER, and then she soon after that was diagnosed. But it's like hard for her. So because of that, it's like a double whammy. She's been losing so much weight that she literally weighs what I weigh, but she's shorter than I am. And she's underweight. She's very frail. So I saw her this past weekend, and that was so hard for me. Like that was so freaking hard because I cried a lot. I kept crying over and over. Like there was moments where I had to walk away, go into the bathroom, go into the other bedroom and just like cry. Because it was hard for me to see. And there was a point where her phone was ringing. So she likes to lay on the couch because it's more comfortable for her when she has to, lean to the other side or whatever. And so she was laying on the couch and her phone rung, and she's like trying to reach for her phone. So her phone is ringing and it's her nurse, and she's trying to reach for her phone. And then I'm like hearing her phone is still ringing. I see her reaching. I'm like, Ma, I got it. Because like at the time I was making her eggs for like, she could barely eat much, but that's one thing she can tolerate. Like her system could tolerate eggs in the morning. So I was making her these soft boiled eggs. So I put the pan down real quick because something tells me something bad's about to happen. So I'm like, Ma, I got it. Just leave it alone. So I see her, and then like all of a sudden she sees herself falling off the couch. Like she slowly rolls off the couch. It was like, when you're about to fall, but then you catch yourself. She doesn't even have the strength to be able to catch herself. So I ran and I cupped my arms under so that she wouldn't hit the floor hard. And so she didn't. So thankfully she didn't, because she could easily break a bone. My aunt was telling me about her physical condition. So I'm sorry, I'm going on and on. I have like a lot to get out. But anyway, the point of me telling you all that is that that was hard for me to see. It was really hard. It was really fucking hard. That was really hard for me to see. And like that's the point, is like in those hard times, who do I pray to? Who do I talk to if I'm not a Christian, if I don't follow the Bible? And that's my whole thing. My whole thing is that the way I see it, and if you're an atheist, you will not be able to relate with me because atheists don't believe in any kind of God, universe, nothing whatsoever. But and I respect atheists, but that's not me. I'm not an atheist. I do believe in something. It's hard for me to say I don't, and I really do. But my whole thing is that like I do believe that God's still there. I do. I don't see God as like, I'm here for you if and when, or I'll be here for you only if you do A, B, C, and D, or I'm here for you only if you are a follower of mine. I just don't, even with everything that's going on right now in my life, I still don't see it as like I need to run back to Christianity. Because I know some people have done that. I've spoken to people who have told me they've done that. They'll go do something really hard, and I could see why someone would want to do that, but I have other reasons as to why I don't. And it's not because of like, oh, I don't want to be a Christian anymore. because I want to continue to just live in sin. That's like the easiest, quickest statement, like super off, quote unquote, fact that a Christian will come up with when you tell them why you won't return to the belief, to the faith, or whatever you want to call it. But I don't know, like I don't care when people think that, because I know exactly why I don't go back to Christianity. And even though, yes, my mom is a Christian, she's been holding really tight to her faith. She prays all the time. She tells me leave it in God's hands, which I do believe in that, because like I said, I believe in something like some sort of um I don't know, like maybe like some sort of a creator of the universe. I do. And if you want to call that God, that I just don't believe in the whole worshiping. Like I must worship this deity in order to, like those little key words, must, in order to, get to this special place. Like I have to earn it. I don't know. I just don't. I just don't believe that. And I know a lot of people would disagree. And then a lot of people will agree, and I just think that's just how life is. Like we're all on a different path. And right now, like the path that I'm on has been very difficult. It's been up and down. Like my moods are definitely up and down. I feel like my voice sounds so deep because, I was in bed like all morning, and I have to get ready for work soon. And when like you get out of bed and you don't talk, and then you finally talk and your voice is like that's why I feel like I sound like, it's annoying, but whatever. But, but don't worry, like I brush my teeth and everything. I'm not nasty. I can't get through the day without brushing my teeth and washing my face the minute that my feet hit the floor. So I'm not like that. Don't worry. But anyway, yeah, I just, like that's just how I feel. I feel like, you go through stuff, and for me, this is what I'm going through. So right now my mom is in the hospital. Right now my mom is in the hospital, and she is very underweight, and they're worried about her heart because of the fact that she has gone to the ER multiple times for dehydration. So they're worried that like the fact that she's not getting the proper nutrition and all of that, she could have a heart attack or a stroke. And she has another virus now that I think this is her second time having, where it's like a stomach virus. It's really bad. And apparently, from what my aunt told me, I don't know how true it is. My aunt told me this, that a lot of cancer patients get it. And it's very easy for them to get. And when they get it, when they get sick, it gets really bad. And that's what like breaks my heart the most, is the fact that my mom is already so sick. She's just like, she takes one bite of something and she goes to the bathroom, or she has to throw up. When she fell off the couch, I had to get my aunt and my uncle next door had to come and help me lift her. She didn't have the strength to lift herself on her left leg. She only had a little bit of strength on her right leg. Then she gets dizzy, and she can't really go anywhere. She hasn't been outside in months. And my mom loves the sun. She loves nature. And then this is the thing that I don't understand. Like my mom, she moved because she was living in the Bronx, right? And she moved upstate. Like if you're from New York, like upstate New York, like that's the suburbs. It's cheaper out there. A lot of people who live in the city meaning like one of the 5 boroughs, they'll move upstate maybe an hour and a half away. Like my family's only an hour and 45 minutes away. And then they'll work here. They'll work here in the city and make the city money. So my mom moved, right? My mom moved or whatever. She moved and my family's all up there. And like she wanted to be in nature. She wanted to be near my family. She wanted that. And she only moved there, maybe it's been like 3 years now, 4. I feel like I want to say it's about to be 4 years. I might be wrong. It might be like 4 years now since my mom has left the Bronx. And she was doing good. She was doing good. She was always super healthy. And then boom, this happens. So I don't know. I don't know why. And a lot of times like we question why. why did this happen? Why is this happening? Why am I going through this? And then we question God. It's so quick. It's so easy for us as ex-Christians to blame God, or even Christians can hit their breaking point in something in their life and be like, I've gone through all my life believing in you and you do this to me. Like, I did that when my dad died. When my dad died when I was 18, and I questioned God and I stopped going to church. I didn't go to church for like 3 or 4 years. I would walk past a church and instantly want to cry because my dad was a pastor, and I felt like God didn't give me a chance to actually enjoy my dad and to have a real relationship with him as a young adult. And like the minute I felt like, yes, now I'm 18, like, I don't have to, like, I can see my dad more. I can, I'm old enough to go and visit him myself. Like, I could do this, I could do that. Maybe we could build that like relationship or whatever. He gets sick, he passed away. So I felt like God just was like, no, you can't have that. So he took that away from me. And then I stopped going to church. This is how I felt at the time. I don't feel like this now. But at the time, that's how I felt. And that was very hard. Like, that was the first death I've ever, excuse me. That was the first death I ever had to go through. That was my first grief I ever had. So now with my mom, it is starting to feel similar. I'm not gonna lie, it's starting to feel similar. But it's like at the same time, like I'm not blaming God. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not blaming God. It just feels like, come on, seriously? Like, you took my dad when I was 18. Like, my mom, she needs to see my kids grow. She needs to see my kids, graduate. She needs to see my kids get married. She needs to see them have kids. She needs to be a great grandmother. My grandmother was a great grandmother. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it would be nice, it would be nice. It would be nice if my mom could be here for like until like I'm at least considered old to the younger people. Like, when I'm considered old, then and my mom is still here, like, I would love to have that. I would love to have that. But I also know that we can't control things. So like, even if you are religious, even if you're Christian, whether you're Christian or you're not, you can't control. You can't control things. You can't control what happens. You can't control what doesn't happen. You can control I think we could control things to a certain extent, but we can't control everything. Like, me and my mom couldn't control this thing from happening in her life. So we can't control every single thing. And I think that life is also about being able to accept the fact that we can't control everything, but we could control whatever is here and now. Like, we could control whatever we have in front of us in this present moment. So that's something that I try to like remind myself, I try to remind myself that. And it's been rough. It's been really rough because I feel like I miss how things was before. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like life made more sense. In a funny way, it didn't make sense because there were certain things in my life and areas of my life I wasn't happy in, but it made more sense than it does now. Like, there was a time where it made fucking sense. Now nothing makes any fucking sense. And I'm just like, okay, nothing's making sense. Nothing at all. But I will say, I am having a much better 2022. I definitely am. I do like my new job a lot. I like my new coworkers a lot. They're super dope. My boss is a crazy, crazy ass white guy, but he is pretty freaking cool too. Like, he is really dope. Like, it's cool. I like it. It's different. It's not something I'm gonna do forever, but for some reason, I just felt like, you know what, fuck it. Like, obviously, like, I'm not going back to college, and I don't want to. I don't have any desire to go back to college. For what? if I really wanted to, like, I just do this on my own. All of us can, to be honest, making money in other ways at college you don't need college for. I'm not gonna do that because college is expensive. If it was free, maybe, but so I just was like, being in teaching, like, I'm not going to college. It's a dead end for me. So I left. Now I'm in hospitality. So it's pretty cool. I feel like I get to be myself. And and I don't really feel like I'm going to work because everybody at my job is themselves. That's how my boss creates the atmosphere intentionally. He wanted, because it's a new restaurant we just opened. And so my boss wanted something where he could have a atmosphere where people could just come in, and it's like a fancy, expensive restaurant, but same time it's not bougie, because my boss, he's kind of rich, but he's not bougie, which is funny. So it's good. Like, I like that because that's what I want. And I was just like, this is cool. I mean, obviously we're professional and people are around, but otherwise, like, we could still really be who we are. And I think it's important that, no matter what you're doing, you are who you are. You could be who you are. And my previous jobs, I couldn't really do that. I couldn't be a lot of things, and I wasn't appreciated. So I had to quit that. And so since starting this new one, it has started my new year off a lot better. I finally caught up with the bills that I was behind on. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was pretty rough. It was like multiple rough things happening all at once. But at the same time, like, as much as all this shit that I'm going through sucks, I think that that's the beauty in it at the same time, is that you get to learn and heal and grow through things, and you learn major lessons that could push you and propel you. Like, right now, I'll be honest, I feel pretty stuck. Like, I feel pretty fucking stuck. I haven't been productive. I don't listen, them pictures I post, that's a lot of effort I'm putting. I don't want to post pictures on Instagram. I don't want to let people in. I don't want to let people into my life. I don't want to be open and be happy and smile more. Like, sometimes I just don't fucking want to, so I don't post anything. And at the same time, I don't like that about myself, because I'm like, but Tina, you have like you have a whole dream. You have this whole thing that you want to do. You have all these projects you're supposed to be working on. And now it's like, like, now I'm seeing, like, no, I gotta plug in my laptop. I'm seeing it now, and I'm like, I'm just like a very different person from who I was before. And I acknowledge that. I definitely acknowledge that. And if you're still here with me at this very moment, big ups to you, because let me tell you, your girl could talk. But this is a lot of stuff that I've just like had, and I just wanted to share, So like I said, I'm getting through. It's day by day. I was starting to feel better, like, with my depression, up until my mom got more sick really recently. And she's not, also, I forgot to mention that she's not doing chemo anymore. She's doing immunotherapy now. So it's less like invasive, in a way where, like, it's not as strong, because the chemo she was doing was very strong. It took way too much of a toll on her body, to a point where it could kill her, which I think is crazy, because if chemo's meant to help heal and cure us, why would it do opposite effects? This is why I don't trust doctors, but that's a whole different conversation. You don't want to go with me. But yeah, so what she's taking now, we're hoping it's gonna work, because I just found out that she had a recent scan done, and it wasn't showing the improvements that the doctors need to see. So we're waiting for the next scan, because it's only but so much of this that she can take, because everything's already been taking a toll. And I asked her, like, well, what happens after that? And she was like, you're just gonna have to leave it in God's hands. That's all I'm doing. That's what she always says when, like, you get to a point where you don't know what's gonna happen. She says, "Leave it in God's hands. It's whatever God wants." But she told me to basically just be positive no matter what, so and that's so hard. That is so hard to do. That is so hard to do. It really is. Like, I know I'm all about positivity and, helping people get through their trauma of leaving a cult and leaving religion, but talk to me when I get through this. Talk to me when I get through this. Then I'll be back on that train again with you. But no, I really do feel like this is just a part of my story, and I wanted to make a video and share it because at first I wasn't really gonna do that. I was like, I don't want to every time I get on the mic, I share something that's so sad and depressing. Like, I don't want to do that shit, sounding all depressing. But I also don't want to get on here and be fake. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, everything's going great. And like, that's not how I feel like I sound right now. So I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I always said since I started this channel, I'm always going to keep it real. It doesn't matter how many people follow me or unfollow. Just sharing my story with people has always been what I love. And I have not been doing that. I mean, my new work schedule has been exhausting just because of the fact that I work nights and I work late some nights. So I get home super late in the morning, and I'm getting used to it because I'm so used to having like that teacher schedule, and even my kids are trying to adjust. But yeah, I do realize that by me not making the time for myself and not making the time to create, not making the time to work on anything, not making the time to work on any of my productive things that I usually love to do, not making the time for myself to write, to do my journaling, to write my poetry, to read, to listen to motivational videos. Like, I haven't been doing any of those things. So, of course, now, I am in the position I'm in right now. I'm feeling the way I'm feeling right now because I haven't been making that time. And when you're going through something really hard, and I guess this is a message for you, even if you're not an ex-Christian. But I say it to the lost ex-Christians because people who leave Christianity that go through certain things do start to feel lost, because I have felt that lost feeling before, but that wasn't in this situation. That was like earlier on when I first left Christianity. But you're gonna go through things. Like, I mean, I'm going through things right now, and at the same time, deep down, like, I really do. And I'm sorry if I sound like I'm jumping all over the place, but even though I'm going through the things I'm going through right now, I know that I'm gonna get through it. And I just feel like that's just how it is with everything. It's just in that moment of trying to be positive, it's really hard to do. But we have to keep trying, we have to keep persisting, and that's what I'm gonna do. Also, I did have like a really good conversation with a really good friend of mine who I've been friends with for years. A very, very, very special friend of mine. In case they're listening, I needed that conversation. There's always like that one person that you, that in the entire world that like you can have a conversation with, and then you're just like this. I needed it specifically from you for some reason. It was like that type of thing. And I needed that because I have not felt like myself. Like, I've been really giving up on myself, and I've been just like so consumed with my mom and like the idea of losing my mom and seeing her sick and how it makes me feel. It's like my spirit is slowly dying out. And I realize that, and I see it, and I'm not afraid to admit that, So, I mean, I was a little ashamed of it at first, but why? Like, I'm human. We're all human. But like, I needed that conversation to, like, I don't know, I guess help start me off. And it actually made me feel comfortable enough to want to make a video. All right, well, that's it. It's 1 o'clock. I gotta get ready for work now, so it sucks because I kind of want to stay home. But I hope you guys did enjoy it. I hope that if you are someone who can relate, if this is something that you feel like you're going through something similar, or maybe not the same situation, but just something that's like really been taking a toll on your life and your mental health, then I hope that this helped you. And just know that, like, we both got this. It just doesn't feel like it right now, but we do. And we'll figure it out. We just got to take it day by day. We get through it together day by day. We take it. And I'll have my days where I'm not going to feel so positive, and I'll have my days where I'm just like, you know, but at the same time, as long as we keep, you know, we keep it pushing, we keep it moving, I think that's what's most important, because we're still here, so we have no other choice but to do so. So if you have any questions or comments, do leave it down below. I appreciate you guys all so much. If you are interested in my channel, do make sure you subscribe. And if you want to hit me up, you can reach me. It's best on Instagram, because I'm not really on Facebook like that. But if you have Instagram, hit me up on Instagram, or you could send me an email, and all the information you need to know is down below in the description box. I love you guys all so much. Enjoy your day.